everybody, today I'm going to be doing the intimidating TBR tag. So I have a very intimidating TBR. Like, I'm not joking. I have a couple hundred books on my TBR, although I have read a couple hundred books, so it kind of evens it out, but it's still a couple hundred of books. But luckily this video is not all about how many books I still need to read, it's more about what books intimidate me most on my TBR. The original creator of this tags video will be linked down below if you want to go check it out. So let's get started. The first question is, what book have you been unable to finish? So mostly the books I haven't been able to finish, I read quite a while ago, or kind of read almost a while ago because I did not finish them. But one of the books that pops out to me and I regret every day for not finishing it, and I know I can still do it now, it's just like, you know, so many books, so little time, and there's other books on my TBR I need to read first, but I hope to get around to this book and finish it sometime in the future. But likely I probably won't. But not because it's a bad book or anything, not at all. I love this author's writing. It just at the time, it was a very weird book for me to read, and I'll get into that in a second. And this book is Requiem by Lauren Oliver. The reason it was weird for me to read is because it had the main character's point of view and then her best friend's point of view. And at the time, I wasn't a very diverse reader. Diverse meaning I didn't like books that had multiple characters' points of views, took place in very complex worlds, from a male's point of view. I was a weird beginning reader. I just didn't like those things. Not because they were bad, just because they were different. And luckily now I've become a more advanced reader, or to that extent, because now I've read much more novels and many more books, and I've gotten used to those different things, and I've learned to love them so much. But back then I wasn't really used to it, so having two characters' point of views in this book kind of threw me off. But luckily that has changed now that I'm older. But when I first started reading this, it was just weird, so I never actually finished the novel. I'm really bummed about it, but I'm excited that Lauren Oliver has a new book coming out called Replica, and it's dual point of views, and I'm so ready to jump into it. Prove past Sasha wrong. Number 2 is, what book do you have yet to read but just haven't had the time? So many books, so little time. This would definitely be Voyager by Diana Gabaldon. You guys know how much I love Outlander, like you guys know. But sadly, I haven't gotten to the third book in the series just because I haven't had much time, and when I read these books, I usually like to read them over the summer so I have time to immerse myself in them. But currently, I've been on a challenge that's called Sasha wants to read 100 books this year, so she better get reading fast. And when I read these books, I don't read fast, so I want to get more of my challenge done and kind of get ahead of my reading challenge, and then read this book so I can take more time on it, because I do not want to rush through these novels. They're golden, they're beautiful, they're Diana Gabaldon's books, and she has Jamie Fraser, so hey! And guys, it's not like I do not have lack of copies. I do have a copy of this book. I actually have 4 copies of this book because I'm a book hoarder, guys. I have a serious issue, I understand that. I just can't, like, you know, go to a half-price bookstore, see a Diana Gabaldon book for like $5 to $10 and not buy it. Yeah. I have no shame about that. Diana Gabaldon's books are awesome. Have my money! Number 3 is, what book do you have yet to read because it's a sequel? Definitely The Infinite Sea by Rick Yancey. I love The Fifth Wave. I just haven't been getting around to the sequel, and now the third book's out, so I better get done with the second one fast so I can read the third one. Like, I love this series. I don't know why I haven't continued it, so I need to get with it. I need to get into this right now. Actually, probably not right now, but soon. I really hope to read this very soon. Number 4 is, what book do you have yet to read because it is brand new? That is definitely Trials of Apollo by Rick Riordan. I have to get through the Heroes of Olympus series first before I read this book, and it is brand new, and I need to read it for the Pre-Zootopia book club, but do not worry because I'm making my way through Heroes of Olympus. I'm on the 3rd novel, so I should be done with the series by early next week, because right now it is Wednesday, and I should be done with, like, you know, the last 2 books, well, 2.5 books, by next week, and then I can finally read this book and review it for you guys, because I really want to, and I need to, because it's our book club book of the month. Number 5 is, what book do you have yet to read because you read a book by the same author and didn't enjoy it? So I don't have the books with me because I haven't, you know, gone out and purchased the books by this author because I don't know if I would like them anymore, and I'm really bummed about that. And this is Love, Rosie by Cecilia Ahern. I read this book and just didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I would. I actually really did not enjoy it, and that's really bummer because I love the movie, and I actually watched the movie after I read the book, so I was kind of going into the movie like hesitantly because I'm like, I love Lily Collins, I love Sam Claflin, and I hope I love the movie because I did not particularly love the book. I just didn't like it because it took too long to get into situations. I know this took over the course of a lot of years, but literally nothing really happened until the very end. Nothing that I wanted to happen, at least, and it just led for me to hate some of the characters that I'm supposed to love by the end, and it really was just not the best. Yeah, so I'm really hesitant to read any other books by Cecilia, which I'm bummed about. I mean, come on, she seems like a great author. I just am kind of bummed about this book. But you know, I'm not gonna totally mark her off as an author I will never read again. Not at all. I'll definitely read a book by her in the future, just not right now. Number 6 is, what book do you have yet to read because you're just not in the mood for it? That is definitely All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. I really want to read this book, but I'm just not in the mood for, you know, historical fiction right now, even though I know this book is truly phenomenal and amazing. And come on, I got it as a great deal. I got it for 13 bucks. Half price books, guys. It's an amazing place. But I'm just not in the mood for this right now, but hopefully I will be getting into the mood for it, you know, in a few months or maybe in a few weeks. I don't know, but I want to get in the mood for it because I know that it's supposed to be an amazing novel. Number 7 is, what book do you have yet to read because it's humongous? Definitely A Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin. I really want to read this book, but it's huge. It's very huge, very dense, and a very, not difficult, but very challenging read. And I really want to read it, but before I read this, I definitely want to read Voyager. But I probably will be getting into the Game of Thrones series very soon, hopefully in the next year, because I really want to go read it and compare it to the TV shows, even though I know they're kind of very different now later on in the series. But still, I want to read them. They're supposed to be fantastic. So hopefully I'll get to it very soon, but very soon means maybe in a year or two. Who knows? I guess future Sasha will know. Number 8 is, what book do you have yet to read because it is a cover by that ended up having not very good reviews? Definitely Between the Devil and the Deep Blue Sea. I definitely bought this because it was a cover by. Like, look at this beautiful cover. And it seemed like an interesting plotline with like the devil in it. It seemed really intriguing and mysterious and dark. And then I looked at the Goodreads reviews, and I usually look at the Goodreads reviews when I'm at the bookstore, but I guess I just didn't do that at the time. And yeah, it didn't have the best reviews. It has a 3.6 out of 5 stars, which is actually not very bad. That's actually fine. That's the average rating for a lot of books. But it didn't have the best reviews by people I trust, so I was like, oh, okay. Maybe I'll read it though. I may still read it. Maybe it's actually a great book and just my friends just did not like it. So, you know, we will see. I always like giving books a second chance because just because somebody else may not have liked it that I trust does not mean that I'm gonna hate it, of course. Like, that's definitely not the case. Maybe sometimes I'll read a book and not like it, but my best friend will love it, or the opposite way around. Just because you're friends, just because you guys like similar novels does not mean that what they think is gonna be what you think. Just always remember that. Now, finally, we have the ultimate question right here, and that is number 9, and it is, what is the most intimidating book on your TBR? Okay, so it's not really an intimidating book, but it's something that's been looming over me for quite a while because I need to get to it in the next week. And that is definitely The Blood of Olympus by Rick Riordan. I know I will get to it, but it's intimidating to me right now because I know if I do not read it, like, and get to this book by early next week, I'm gonna be definitely behind on reading Trials of Apollo, and I want to get up the review for you guys on Trials of Apollo by like late next week, so I better get this done. So right now, this is very intimidating for me to look at because I'm like, I better get to you in time or else, you know, I'm gonna be late on my reviews and I have to read Trials of Apollo because first of all, it sounds phenomenal. Second of all, it's the book club book of the month. And third of all, it is Rick Riordan's books and it just sounds very, very good. So I really, really want to get to this book and it's just intimidating to me right now because I know that I have to read a book and a half before I get to this, and they're not the smallest books and I'm really doing crunch time right now and it's kind of stressing me out, but you know, yeah, I'll get there. You know, I know I shouldn't be stressed out. Reading is amazing. I'm not necessarily stressed out. I'm just kind of stressed out. It's okay, guys. It's okay. I'm enjoying reading these books. It's not even stressful reading them. It's just knowing that I'll have to read all of them very fast. And I kind of wanted to read them at my own pace, but I can't really do that anymore, which I'm kind of bummed about, but I'm still loving them anyways. Woo! Okay, now the 10th question is, who do I tag? Okay, I'm gonna tag Casey from Casey Ann Books, Gemma from A Novel, Tasha from Tasha Polis, Jessie from Jessie the Reader, and whoever else wants to do this. If you guys want to do it, I tag you. So that is all for today's video. If you want to check out any of the books I mentioned here, I'll be linking them all down below. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye! Also guys, thanks for sticking around. If you did, you guys are awesome. But I just want to let you know that my book, Zenith, that I'm writing with one of my best friends, Lindsay, is now available for pre-order on all ebook sites. So if you want to go download it and support us in our writing, that will be amazing. You guys are so cool and so supportive. I love you guys so much. So if you want to go and download it and order it, there'll be links down below for all ebook sites. So definitely go check it out. And yeah, thanks for watching.